Now I want to show you some different conifers that work great for screening, and there's lots and lots of different varieties and everything, but just to name a few here, this is emerald green arborvitae. And emerald green arborvitae does extremely well in our climate, and it gets a spread on it of about 6 feet tall and grows taller. So it's going to need about a 6-foot spacing for a screen at about 14 feet. You need to go about 6 feet. And then this one is one called Zmatlik, which is real similar to another one called Degroots Spire arborvitae, which is more upright, but Zmatlik's a little bit fatter and also a little bit more able to grow well in the shade. It does pretty good in the shade, and regardless of what you do, whenever you plant arborvitaes that first year, you're going to have to make sure you keep water on them during the heat, because they like to use a lot of water, as all conifers do. So you got to make sure that you keep them watered during that first year especially. One of the plants that doesn't need as much water as it gets more established and everything is the Arizona cypress. The thing I like about this is that it's got that gray-blue color, which makes it appear similar to like a blue spruce, which a lot of people like real well. But the best thing about it is that it gets big, and it gets big fast. It grows fast. But once again, it needs to have that first couple of years of nurturing and water, and then after that, it can be on its own. It can stand extremely tough Oklahoma drought conditions even. So Arizona cypress is a great one for a screen that you want to get 20 feet or taller. I mean, they get big. This plant right here, this is an Alberta spruce, which it's a shade. It's going to be in the shade, and it's a slow grower, but once again, it is an upright, where given time and everything, it can be a screening plant in the shade. And the same thing goes with the Hicks Yew. Hicks Yew grows upright, and you can see this thing right now. It's lovely. It's in flush, and it grows in the shade pretty well. Likes to be well drained, and it doesn't like wet feet. But it can be a screen that can get up to 8 feet tall for you. And if you're going to use it for a screen, you're going to need to be planting them about every 3 feet apart in order to do that. This is a Plum Yew, and once again, a little bit different than the Taxus, but does a good job of screening in the shade as well. So the Plum Yew is another, but be relying on it for a little bit shorter screen. And then you get into the junipers. And the junipers, there are so many different kinds that do so many different things, so many different colors, and they do extremely well in our area. And this is called Blue Point, which you can see it's got sort of a blue cast to it, and it has a very polite growing habit in that it grows very conical and very full all the way around, and will get to be about 8 feet tall. So it's a good plant to use up around the house as well, where it won't overgrow and get too tall. This is the Taylor Juniper, which right now is extremely popular. I kind of liken it to the Italian cypress, which is not hardy for here, but people like to grow them because they've got that columnar California look, if you know what I'm talking about. And Taylor Juniper really does stay slender on its own, and will grow to heights of 25 feet tall given time, with a spread no more than 5 feet. So it's a very popular plant right now that people are using a lot. And once again, it's a Virginiana, which means that it's similar to all these cedars you see growing everywhere. So it's definitely hardy. This is the Leyland Cypress, which Leyland Cypress, once again, another fast grower, and a great screen plant for your tall screens that you need to get. But once again, Leyland Cypress during that first year especially is going to need to be kept evenly moist throughout the heat and everything. You don't want the heat hitting them without them being watered, because it will set them back, if not kill them. And here's another type of an upright juniper called Spartan. And Spartan's going to get a little bit wider at the bottom, maybe 6 to 8 feet at the bottom, but it still get up to about 20 feet in height too. So it's a great plant. There's other ones out there that grow like your Canaertis, your Brodies, and different ones that grow wider, and where you don't need as many of them, where you can plant them on like 12-foot centers and give them time and get screens up to 20 feet high. So there's lots of different things that you can do, but your junipers here in our area in the full sun is going to be one of your plants that you're going to want to go to the first. But anyway, there's a good idea about what some of the conifers can do for you for putting up a sight screen in the hedge.